So in part one of two pointers technique, we discuss the basic concept, which is initializations, movement rule, and termination condition. And we also see the approaches, which is in the same directions and the opposite directions. We discuss the two template, one for the same direction and another one for the opposite direction. And we also saw an example to check if a given string is a palindrome or not, right? And it's good to work with more example. So today we are going to work with two more example, and we will see how these two approach fits in to find the solution efficiently. With the time complexity O(n) and the space complexity, we want to keep it at O(1). So let's get started. Reverse a string. Now you can see as a problem statement says, write a function that reverses a string. The input string is given as an array of character S. You must do this by modifying the input array in place with O(1) extra memory. Okay, so this is the example given. The input S is hello, and we should be expecting the output from the method which we are going to write is in the reverse order. Similarly, the example 2, if you see input Hannah, and again the same string has to be printed in reverse order. Okay, the length, this is the constraint given, like it could be 10 to the power of 5. And if you see this question has been asked in many companies like Apple, Amazon, Google, Deutsche Bank in last 6 months, right? So this question is very popular, and this is the important thing, in place operation in array, okay, with O(1) extra memory. All right, now we were talking about two pointers technique, and we're gonna solve these questions with two pointers technique. So let's review this. So our first input is word hello, right? This is our first input, and the output we are expecting from our function is OLLEH. Okay, so what we have to, how we gonna solve this problems with two pointers, and also we have to make sure that we are not using any extra space, right? We have to keep it at O(1). So as we see, two pointers left and right, all we have to do is we have to swap the value from the left to right and keep moving this two pointers. So left we will move towards the end, and right we will move towards the front. So basically we will check the values at left. We don't have to check actually, basically we have to swap it, right? So first we need a temporary variable that says temp, which is gonna hold my left values, and then on the left I will swap it with the right, and on the right I just place the temp, right? And we just need to move the left towards the end, which is plus plus, and right towards the front, which is minus minus, and that will do the trick, right? With the two pointer you can see it's just swapping the values from the front and end, and that will actually, that's it. So let's see the three basic concepts of two-pointer approach with the input hello. We have number one is the initialize. We initialize left pointer to 0 and right pointer to length -1, which is the end of the array. The second, we have to identify the movement rule, and the movement rule we have see that we will be moving the left towards the end and right towards the front until both these left and right pointers are equal, and we will keep swapping the number. That's our logic. And the termination condition, what would be the termination condition? The termination condition would be when both the pointers, left and right, becomes equal. That would be it. Okay. Once we see the left and right meet at the point where both these pointers are equal, our string is reversed with the space complexity O1. That is one of the requirement of the questions. And the time complexity, obviously, we are only doing the n by 2 uh, iteration. So it will be ON. So let's convert this instruction into the code. So let's construct the method which is going to reverse a given string. Rule number one, the initialization of two integers. So I'm going to initialize two integers, that is left 0 and right, that is going to be the length -1 of the string. So that is my two integers, which is going to be holding the pointers, two pointers, one at the beginning of the array, the second is the end of the array. Then I'm going to do a while loop where I will make sure that while loop will continue until both these pointers are equal. And I do need a temp variable which is going to hold my left index value, and then I will swap the left value with the right, and I'm going to do the right with temp. And I also need to, once I swap it, I need to increment my left towards the end and right decrement. That's gonna do the trick, right? So basically that's it. So if you see this, number one, we initialize two variables, left and right, which is going to hold the indexes, right? So one is the zero index, the beginning of array, right, end of the array. We are running the while loop from left to and making sure that these two pointers are not equal. We are keep swapping the variable using a temp variables. So as you can see, we can also do a little bit. We can just do the increment and decrement at the time, the post increment and decrement. This is another way to do it. Okay, and that's it. Like very simple, very few statements, a few lines of code, and it's very efficient. So let's run this and see how it gonna work. And we can see